All right, and we are back here on the GSMC Sports Podcast. And for the second part of the show, we are now going to talk about the other games from last night. Had a couple of other game twos. We had the Grizzlies and the Thunder, as well as the Bucks and the Pacers. So we'll talk about the Bucks and the Pacers first. So Damian Lillard made his return, um, after an absence due to the blood clot, and not a great shooting night for him. He finished with 14 points, 4 of 13 from the field, 2 of 8 from 3, 4 of 5 from the free throw line. Kyle Kuzma, you know, he showed up in the stat sheet. Okay, he had 12 points last night, 3 rebounds, 1 assist, 5 of 10 from the field, 0 for 3 from 3. Giannis finished with a double-double. He had 18 rebounds, 34 points. He went 14 of 20 from the field, 6 of 10 from the free throw line. And Bobby Portis, 28 points off the bench. But it was not enough. It was not enough. The Pacers got the win last night, 123 to 115. All 5 starters were in double digits. Pascal Siakam had a double-double. Tyrese Halliburton had a double-double. Siakam had 24 points, 11 rebounds. Halliburton had 21 points and 12 assists. Miles Turner had 15. Nesmith had 16. Andrew Nembhard had 17. And they were able to pick up the win. And the Bucks are now in an 0-2 hole. Both teams shot around 50% from the field. Both teams around 40% from three-point range. Pacers went 19 of 19 with their free throws, 100%. Bucks were 68%. So, free throws kind of made a difference in the game a little bit. Ended up losing by 8. But yeah, the Bucks are now in an 0-2 hole. And, Damian Lillard, with him just coming back, you don't expect him to, go off and score, a bunch of points. He's got to get his, his feet wet again. And, the Bucks are going to have to move on for him really to get into, to find his groove and get himself back into shape. But yeah, I think this series could be over. We'll see what happens now going back to Milwaukee. How the Bucks respond. I don't think this is going to be a clean sweep, but like I picked the Pacers to win this series. I like their team. And Halliburton, he had an off day in game 1, and you kind of figured he was going to bounce back in game 2, and he did. And they got contributions from their other starters. It's just, and actually Bobby Portis also finished with double-double. So they had 3 players. Actually, no, they had 2 players, Giannis and Bobby Portis. So several players finishing with double-doubles last night. But yeah, I just feel like the Pacers, they're the better team at this point. And Dame and Tyrese Halliburton, they were, continuing their trash talk. But it's kind of been one-sided so far with the Bucks now down 0-2. So Game 3 is going to be on Friday. That'll be 8 p.m. Eastern Time. It's on NBA. It'll be on NBA TV. It'll also be on ESPNU or ESPU. So yeah, that's a big game for the Bucks. They're going to be at home, so you expect they would take at least one of the games at home. Could they take 2? Absolutely. But I think the series is nearing the end pretty quickly here. But we'll see what happens. But let me know what you guys think about that game. And the OKC Thunder, they continue their dominance in this series, 118 to 99. Now, not quite, a 50-point win, but they once again showed that they are the much better team in this series. Better performances out of their starters. The Grizzlies had Jaren Jackson Jr., John Moran had 23 points. Not a great shooting night, though. But, the Thunder are just too much for them. Shea didn't have a great shooting night either. He finished with 27 points. He went 10 of 29 from the field, 3 of 10 from 3. Chet Holmgren finished with a double-double. He had 20 points, 11 rebounds. Jalen Williams had 24 points. Alex Caruso had 16 points off the bench. And then looking at the comparison of both teams, Thunder took over 100 shots. They both shot around 43% and around 33% from three-point range. And I apologize for my dog barking in the background. She got taken to the vet, so I thought she was still gonna be there. But no, I guess she's back. Here's the other thing too. Grizzlies 14 turnovers in this game. The Thunder had 25 points off of turnovers to the Grizzlies 6. Fast break points. Thunder 21 points to the Grizzlies 3. So that was a big difference in the game as well. But yeah, this series is just this series is definitely over. This is definitely over. Could the Grizzlies steal a game? Maybe, but I don't see it happening. I think this is going to be a clean sweep, and the Thunder are going to be one of the first teams to move on in the playoffs here. They are outclassing the Grizzlies. The Grizzlies were competitive in the second quarter. Thunder outscored them 38-35, and then they outscored the Thunder in the third quarter. But between the first quarter and the fourth quarter, Thunder outscored them 32-17 in the first quarter, 28-20 in the fourth. So, but definitely more competitive, I guess, than compared to Game 1 when that game was just over. When it tipped off. So, but yeah, so the Thunder are up 2-0. The Pacers are up 2-0. Lakers, Timberwolves is tied at 1 apiece. And then we got a few games tonight. Celtics Magic is going to be interesting because it looks like there's going to be no Jason Tatum. Jason Tatum is dealing with a bit of a wrist injury, and right now he is doubtful for the game. Landed awkwardly on his right wrist in Game 1. So that's a huge loss. Can the Magic take advantage of that? I mean, the Celtics are still 10.5-point favorites. So that tells you really all you need to know. It doesn't. It is going to make a difference, but I still think even without Jason Tatum, the Celtics could still win this game. They got enough weapons, on that team. They're a deep team where, they could afford the loss, but guys are going to have to step up. And I think they will. I think, yes, it's going to be, it could be a closer game. We did see the Magic that, they played a good first half in Game 1. They were up by 1 going into halftime. But then the Celtics came out and they took control of the game. So, we'll see what happens tonight. But I still would lean towards the Celtics winning this game. The Cavs and the Heat, their Game 2 match, their Game 2 is tonight with their series. I expect the Cavs to win. The Heat were competitive, somewhat competitive in Game 1, but the Cavs are just much better, and I think they win. Now, the game I'm looking forward to the most tonight is the Rockets and the Warriors. The Warriors, they won Game 1. Both teams scored under 100 points. Score of Game 1 was similar to the score from last night between the Lakers and the Timberwolves. But, the Rockets, they got off to a good start, but, the Warriors had a strong finish to the game. Steph Curry and Jimmy Butler had big games, and some of the guys on the Rockets, were not great. Fred VanVleet had an off night. The Rockets, this is a huge game for them. Home field advantage is kind of shifted into the Warriors' favor, but it's really going to shift in the Warriors' favor if they win tonight. They're 3.5-point underdogs. I'm going to say the Rockets do even the series, but if they don't, they're in trouble. So take the Celtics tonight, Cavs tonight, and I'll take the Rockets, so all the home teams. So surely one of the road teams is going to end up winning. It's really going to. I don't. The Magic I could see because Tatum being out, but I think the Celtics should win. The Warriors and the Rockets, that's the one that's really the toss-up. But I'm going to say the Rockets even the series. But like I said, if they don't, yeah, that could be a problem. That could be a problem for them. But let me know what you guys think about the games for tonight. What do you think? Who do you think wins them? Let me know in the comments. So before we go to break, I just want to remind you guys once again to tip or donate, get your comments recognized. Make sure to hit that super chat button in the chat if you want to see me acknowledge any thought or comment you may have throughout the live broadcast. It makes the show more lively, more entertaining between myself, the host, and you guys, the viewers. We appreciate you guys' viewership each and every day, so any contribution you can make to the show means the world to us as we put out content for you guys each and every day. And also, the other way to help out the show is by going to the link at the bottom of the show segment on the ticker, GSMCPodcast.net. That is GSMCPodcast.net. So, when we come back from our next break, we're going to talk about Ashton Genty and the potential landing spots for him with the NFL draft coming up tomorrow. So, we will get into that discussion when we return from our next break. So, with that being said, stick around, and we'll be right back here on the GSMC Sports Podcast.